After age 60, the food you eat matters more than ever, especially for your brain. Many people believe memory loss is just a part of getting older, but that's not entirely true. Certain everyday foods can quietly speed up brain aging, increase inflammation, and raise your risk of dementia. Today, we're going to talk about 10 specific foods that have been linked to memory problems and cognitive decline. Some may be sitting in your kitchen right now. The good news? Replacing these foods with healthier options doesn't require a complete diet overhaul. Just a few smart swaps can help keep your mind clearer, longer. Before we dive in, be sure to like this video and subscribe so you never miss practical health tips designed for older adults like you. Now let's explore the first group of warning foods and how to protect your brain from the inside out. Sweet but deadly sugars and sweetened foods. You may think sugar is just a harmless pleasure, a way to sweeten your day. But after 60, your brain experiences sugar very differently than it did in your younger years. It's not just about weight or blood pressure anymore, it's about memory, clarity, and the ability to stay mentally sharp for years to come. Sugar, and especially added sugar, has been directly linked to cognitive decline, and the evidence is stronger than ever. Studies now suggest that high-sugar diets may increase your risk of Alzheimer's, sometimes referred to as type 3 diabetes, because of how strongly it's linked to insulin resistance in the brain. Let's explore the first group of foods that seem innocent on the surface but can damage the very core of your memory: sweetened and sugary foods. Here are 3 major culprits that deserve a spot on your must-avoid list. 1. Soda liquid sugar that starves your brain. If there's one food or drink that consistently appears at the top of every list of harmful brain foods, it's soda. That includes regular cola, lemon-lime drinks, root beer, energy drinks, and even sweetened iced teas. Soda is pure liquid sugar. One 12-ounce can of regular cola contains about 39 grams of sugar. That's nearly 10 teaspoons of sugar in one sitting. When you drink soda, that sugar rushes into your bloodstream and overwhelms your body's ability to process it smoothly. Over time, this creates insulin resistance, not just in the body but in the brain. And your brain, especially the hippocampus, the region responsible for learning and memory, suffers the most. A landmark 2017 study published in the journal Stroke found that people who drank 1 or more sugary drinks per day were significantly more likely to have poorer memory, smaller brain volume, and a higher risk of stroke and dementia. What's worse is that many seniors think they're doing better by switching to diet soda, but artificial sweeteners come with their own set of neurological risks, including mood disruption and altered brain signaling. Alternative: replace soda with infused water, herbal teas, or even sparkling water with lemon or cucumber slices. If you crave sweetness, try adding a few crushed berries for flavor. Over time, your taste buds adjust, and your brain thanks you. Historical reference: soda didn't even exist for most of human history. It became widely available in the early 20th century, and consumption soared by the 1950s. But dementia rates too have risen sharply in parallel. Coincidence? Unlikely. 2. Sweetened yogurt, a dessert in disguise. You may have thought yogurt was a healthy option, and it can be. But the kind found on most grocery store shelves, especially those labeled low-fat or fruit-flavored, often contain as much sugar as a candy bar. A single serving of flavored yogurt may have 20-25 grams of added sugar, much of it from high fructose corn syrup, which is one of the most damaging forms of sugar for the brain. It increases oxidative stress and inflammation, 2 major contributors to neurodegeneration. Even worse, the low-fat versions remove natural brain-supportive fats and replace them with more sugar and starches to improve taste. Alternative: choose plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt and add your own toppings like blueberries, cinnamon, or a few chopped nuts. You'll get probiotics that benefit gut health, which is directly tied to brain health, without the sugar overload. Historical note: traditional cultures that consumed fermented dairy, such as Greek, Middle Eastern, or Eastern European diets, ate it unsweetened, often with herbs or savory spices. Dementia was far less common in these regions historically. 3. Flavored coffee creamers, a daily dose of brain fog. Many people start their morning with coffee, and there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, coffee contains antioxidants and may even support cognitive function. But the problem begins when flavored creamers enter the cup. These creamers, especially the powdered, shelf-stable kind, are loaded with sugar, corn syrup solids, hydrogenated oils, and artificial flavors. Some have up to 5 grams of sugar per tablespoon, and many people add several spoonfuls. What you think is a comforting routine might be bathing your brain in inflammatory compounds every morning. And over time, the consequences build. These ingredients not only spike blood sugar but also disrupt the gut microbiome, which scientists now recognize as a major player in brain health. Poor gut health is strongly associated with memory loss, anxiety, and even depression. Alternative: use unsweetened almond milk, oat milk, or simply a small splash of real half and half without added sweeteners. Better yet, try cinnamon, nutmeg, or pure vanilla extract for flavor. Cultural connection. In traditional coffee-drinking cultures like Italy or Turkey, people often drink their coffee black or with minimal dairy, and rarely with sugary additives. Their dementia rates until the modern era were notably lower. The hidden impact of sugar on your brain. Let's zoom out and look at the big picture. Why is sugar so destructive to the aging brain? The answer is twofold: chronic inflammation. Sugar fuels systemic inflammation, which damages neurons and weakens connections between brain cells. Insulin resistance. When your brain becomes resistant to insulin, it loses the ability to regulate glucose, its main fuel source, leading to sluggish thinking and memory loss. Your brain becomes like a foggy windshield. It still works, but your visibility and sharpness are reduced. After 60, sugar hits harder. As you age, your metabolism slows, and your body becomes less efficient at processing carbohydrates. This means that sugar spikes last longer, do more damage, and take longer to recover from. Your brain is less protected, and its ability to repair itself naturally declines. Worse still, you might not notice the effects at first, but those small daily exposures, each teaspoon of sugar in your coffee, each healthy yogurt cup, can have a cumulative effect on memory, focus, and mood. But what about fruit? Here's an important distinction: natural sugars and whole fruits are not the same as added sugars. Fruits contain fiber, antioxidants, and vitamins that slow the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream and support brain health. The problem arises when fruits are juiced, dried, or stripped of their fiber. At that point, their sugar content hits your body more like soda than food. Best fruits for brain health: blueberries, rich in anthocyanins that support memory; avocados, high in healthy fats; and fiber apples with peel, full of quercetin, an antioxidant. Stick to whole fruits, not juice or fruit-flavored products. Your brain-boosting action plan, so far. By now you've identified 3 dangerous sweetened foods that may be affecting your brain every day. Let's summarize your next steps. Ditch soda and switch to water or tea. Choose unsweetened yogurt and flavor it naturally. Replace flavored creamers with real milk and spices. Doctor's Corner, a real story. One of my patients, a 68-year-old grandmother, came to me complaining of memory lapses. She drank 3 diet sodas a day and started every morning with vanilla creamer and healthy yogurt. We slowly replaced her drinks, introduced healthier fats, and within 4 months she said, "Doctor, it's like the fog has lifted. Your brain can recover if you stop feeding it what weakens it." You've already taken the first step by learning. In the next section, we'll explore the second major danger to your brain: trans fats and processed oils. Keep going, because every food you remove is one step closer to better memory, better focus, and better living. Fats that fog your mind. Trans fats and processed oils. You might have heard the phrase healthy fats tossed around these days, and it's true, your brain thrives on the right kinds of fat. But here's what most people don't realize: not all fats are created equal, and some of them, especially the ones lurking in everyday foods, can do permanent damage to your memory. If you're over 60, your brain is more sensitive to what you eat. The wrong kinds of fats can clog your arteries, slow circulation to the brain, and trigger inflammation that accelerates mental decline. These aren't just theoretical risks. They're very real, and they're happening in seniors every day. In this section, we'll explore 3 more foods that are often seen as convenient or comforting, but are quietly impairing your focus, memory, and even mood. 4. Margarine, fake butter, real damage. Once praised as a healthier alternative to butter, margarine became a staple in many American households after World War II. It was marketed as modern, heart-smart, and affordable. But here's the truth: doctors now understand. Margarine is a brain health hazard. Why? Because it contains trans fats, or did for decades. Even now, despite FDA bans, some margarine brands still use modified oils that aren't much better. Trans fats raise bad LDL cholesterol, lower good HDL cholesterol, increase inflammation in the brain, promote plaque buildup in brain arteries. A 2019 study published in Neurology found that people with high levels of industrial trans fats in their blood were up to 75% more likely to develop dementia. That's not a small risk. That's a red flag. And many people over 60 grew up believing margarine was the healthy choice. It was pushed on us by ads, doctors, and school lunches, but now we know better. Alternative, switch to grass-fed butter in moderation or extra virgin olive oil, which is rich in brain-protective compounds like polyphenols. Historical reference: traditional Mediterranean diets rich in olive oil and low in processed fats have consistently been associated with lower rates of Alzheimer's and dementia. We should be looking backward to eat forward. 5. Fried foods: crispy outside, cloudy inside French fries, fried chicken, onion rings, fried fish sticks, all comfort foods, right? And hard to resist, but what many don't know is that fried foods are not just bad for your heart, they're devastating for your brain. The process of deep frying alters oils at the molecular level, creating harmful compounds called advanced glycation end products. These compounds increase oxidative stress and have been directly linked to cognitive decline. On top of that, many fast food chains and restaurants reuse their frying oil, which leads to even more oxidation and toxicity in each bite. A 2016 study from the University of Cambridge found that people who regularly consumed fried foods had significantly worse memory performance than those who didn't, even after adjusting for age and education. It's not just the fat, it's how it's cooked. The heat, the reuse, and the batter all add up to a perfect storm for inflammation. Alternative? Use an air fryer with avocado oil or bake your food for crispiness. If you crave fries, make your own sweet potato wedges, seasoned with herbs and roasted until golden. Cultural context: in Okinawa, Japan, a region with one of the lowest rates of dementia globally, deep-fried foods are extremely rare in traditional diets. Their meals emphasize steamed, grilled, and fermented foods instead. 6. Store-bought baked goods: brain fog in a wrapper. That store-bought muffin, that packaged donut, that flaky, buttery-looking croissant sealed in plastic. These aren't just morning treats, they're delivery systems for trans fats, refined carbs, and preservatives that can dull your brain like fogged-up glasses. Even if the label says 0G trans fats, beware. US regulations allow companies to round down anything less than 0.5 G per serving to 0. So if you eat 2 or 3 servings of that cookie, you're still getting dangerous fats. Plus, these baked goods are often made with refined white flour and sugar, both of which spike blood sugar, a double hit to memory and focus. One of the most alarming studies from the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease found that diets high in refined pastries were linked to smaller hippocampal volume, the very brain structure responsible for memory. Alternative: bake at home using almond flour or oats, sweeten naturally with ripe bananas or dates. Even better, replace pastries with fruit, nuts, or high-protein options that stabilize blood sugar instead of spike it. Anecdote from practice: I had a 70-year-old patient who told me, "It's just a muffin in the morning, doc, how bad can it be?" But she had 3 per week, and combined with flavored coffee, it was enough to give her daily fog, irritability, and forgetfulness. After a few months of replacements, her mornings became clear again, in her own words. Why trans fats are especially dangerous. After 60. Your body's natural detox systems slow down as you age. That means fats you used to tolerate in your 40s now linger longer in your bloodstream. They clog arteries faster. They generate more inflammation. Your brain is 85% fat by weight, and it depends on healthy fats to build protective sheaths around nerves. When you eat damaged, unnatural fats, you're feeding the brain the wrong materials. It's like trying to build a sturdy roof with warped wood. And inflammation from these fats doesn't just make you foggy, it leads to the buildup of beta-amyloid plaques, a key feature in Alzheimer's pathology, the connection between fats, gut, and brain. Recent research has shown that bad fats also disrupt gut bacteria, leading to something called leaky gut, which in turn affects brain health. Inflammation doesn't just happen in the brain, it often starts in the gut. And what causes that? You guessed it. Refined oils, fried foods, and processed pastries. Healthy fat swaps. You can start today. Here's your doctor-approved list. Avoid margarine. Choose grass-fed butter or olive oil. Avoid fried fast food. Choose oven-roasted or air-fried meals. Avoid packaged pastries. Choose homemade treats with brain-friendly ingredients. These aren't just substitutions. They're upgrades for your mental future. A widower in his early 70s once came to me with complaints of slowness and feeling stuck in his thoughts. He wasn't depressed, just foggy. Turns out he ate fried chicken 3 times a week and used margarine daily. With his permission, we shifted to a Mediterranean-style approach, more olive oil, fewer fried foods, and cleaner breakfasts. In 3 months, he said, I feel like myself again. Trans fats weren't part of the human diet until the early 1900s, when manufacturers discovered how to make oils solid at room temperature. These were cheap, shelf-stable, and perfect for mass production. But what's convenient for corporations is often catastrophic for biology. And our brains, especially aging brains, were never built to process these artificial fats. Your brain defense checklist: eliminate margarine and processed spreads, cut down on fried foods and takeout, avoid store-bought baked goods, use healthy fats like olive oil. Each step you take rebuilds the foundation of your brain, cell by cell. You've now eliminated 6 of the top 10 brain-damaging foods. In our final section, we'll look at additives, preservatives, and artificial ingredients. Stick with me. You're closer than ever to protecting your mind, your memories, and your independence. You've already taken major steps to protect your brain by cutting out excessive sugar and harmful fats. But there's another danger still lurking: the hidden chemicals in packaged and processed foods. These aren't just unhealthy, they're engineered for shelf life, not brain life. And they can contribute to inflammation, oxidative stress, and memory loss in subtle but powerful ways. If you're over 60, your body's detox systems slow down, and these compounds tend to accumulate, especially when consumed daily over months or years. Let's explore 4 more brain-harming foods hiding in your pantry, freezer, or refrigerator. Processed meats, a daily dose of dementia risk. Think about deli ham, bacon, sausage, pepperoni, hot dogs, even canned meat. What do they have in common? They're all preserved with sodium nitrite, a compound used to keep meats looking pink and fresh. But once inside your body, nitrates can form nitrosamines, which are neurotoxic compounds. They've been shown to damage DNA, increase inflammation, and impair brain cell function. A 2021 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition linked frequent consumption of processed meats to higher rates of cognitive decline and Alzheimer's. The damage wasn't from protein or fat, it was from the preservatives and chemical compounds. For many older adults, processed meat is a breakfast habit: bacon with eggs, a sandwich with deli turkey, or sausage patties on toast. Unfortunately, these habits stack up over time. Alternative: choose fresh, unprocessed meats, or better yet, plant-based protein sources like lentils, beans, or organic tofu. If you love cured meats, look for nitrite-free uncured versions, but still eat sparingly. In the traditional Mediterranean diet, meat is used more like a condiment than a main dish, and processed meat is almost entirely absent. This diet is often associated with low dementia rates in older adults. Processed cheese. Not what it seems. You've seen them: wrapped singles, cheese sprays, cheese slices that never seem to melt. They're convenient, tasty, and last forever. But these aren't real cheeses. They're cheese products made with emulsifiers, food dyes, preservatives, and stabilizers. Many of these compounds, especially sodium phosphate and carrageenan, have been shown to alter gut bacteria and promote inflammation, which directly affects brain health. An inflamed gut leads to an inflamed brain. And remember, your gut and brain are connected by the vagus nerve, constantly sharing information. When your gut suffers, your memory often does too. Alternative: opt for real cheese, like organic aged cheddar, goat cheese, or feta, ideally in moderation. Or try nut-based cheese alternatives made without additives. In many European cultures, cheese was aged, simple, and made from whole milk. The industrial version we now consume bears little resemblance, and the increase in cognitive decline in the modern era may reflect that change. Instant noodles and boxed meals, fast but forgettable. Instant ramen, boxed mac and cheese, frozen TV dinners. They may seem like easy meals, but they're packed with sodium, MSG, artificial flavor enhancers, and chemical preservatives. What do these additives do? MSG overstimulates brain cells. TBHQ has been linked to cellular damage in animal studies. High sodium increases blood pressure, reducing oxygen flow to the brain. A recent study from the Journal of Nutrition and Aging found that seniors who ate high quantities of ultra-processed meals had 40% higher cognitive decline rates over 10 years. And these meals are often nutrient-poor, meaning your brain doesn't get the vitamins and minerals it needs to function. Alternative: batch cook simple meals at home, or use frozen vegetables with brown rice and lean protein. Even a fresh sandwich with whole ingredients is better than these boxed convenience options. A patient of mine in her mid-70s lived alone and often turned to frozen dinners. She said they were easy and cheap, but once we replaced them with prepped homemade meals and simple fresh foods, her mental energy noticeably improved within months. Colorful packaged snacks, the brain's silent enemy. Gummies, candy, fruit-flavored snacks, colored cereals, rainbow crackers. Many look like food but act more like lab experiments. These items often contain artificial food dyes like red 40, yellow 5, blue 1, high fructose corn syrup, hydrogenated oils, flavor enhancers and emulsifiers. The Center for Science in the Public Interest has warned that certain artificial dyes may disrupt brain development, especially in children. But emerging evidence shows they also impact adults, affecting mood, memory, and focus. These dyes don't break down easily in the body, and are banned in many countries outside the US. Alternative: if you need snacks, reach for nuts, dried fruit without sugar, or homemade granola. Even dark chocolate, 70% or higher in moderation, supports brain health thanks to flavonoids. Traditional diets around the world rarely used artificial colors. The rise of these products coincides with the rise of ultra-processed diets and brain-based illnesses. Why these additives hit harder after 60. Your body's ability to filter and detoxify weakens with age. The liver and kidneys slow down, and the gut barrier becomes more permeable. That means food additives, especially preservatives and emulsifiers, can pass through more easily and impact sensitive tissues like the brain. At the same time, your need for antioxidants, omega-3s, and brain protective nutrients increases. These processed foods provide none of that, and rob you of mental clarity. Hidden names, hidden danger. The problem with these processed ingredients is that they often appear under hidden or scientific names like BHA, BHT, propyl gallate, sodium nitrate, disodium inosinate, natural flavor. Even food labeled low-fat, sugar-free, or heart-healthy may be filled with brain-damaging chemicals. Your final 4 foods to avoid: processed meats, due to nitrites and neurotoxins. Processed cheese, because of emulsifiers and gut impact. Instant noodles, boxed meals filled with MSG, sodium, and preservatives. Colorful snacks, made with artificial dyes and brain stimulants. Each one chips away at your brain's ability to protect itself, but each one is also replaceable by fresh, simple, whole foods that feed your memory, not fog it. Doctor's advice: your brain is worth fighting for. You may be thinking, I've eaten these for years, is it too late? No, your brain is resilient. It adapts. And once you stop feeding it harmful inputs, it starts to heal. I've had countless patients reverse brain fog, sharpen their memory, and regain their emotional balance just by changing what they eat. The transformation often begins within weeks, especially when you cut out the hidden enemies in processed food. A quick look back, your brain-saving blueprint? Here's the top 10 foods to avoid after 60 to help prevent dementia. Sugar bombs, soda, sweetened yogurt, flavored coffee creamers, damaging fats, margarine, fried foods, packaged baked goods, artificial and preserved foods, processed meats, processed cheese, instant noodles, boxed meals, colorful packaged snacks. Closing words: a healthier mind starts today. You now know the truth, and truth is powerful. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every single item you remove from your plate creates more space for clarity, confidence, and cognitive vitality. Your memories matter, your story matters, and your future deserves to be written with a sharp mind and a strong spirit. Start today, not with fear, but with hope. Swap just one of these foods this week, then another the next. Soon, your body and brain will notice, and you'll feel the difference. If this video helped you, be sure to like and subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. They may need it more than you know.